Tag Show.
The Mixed Tag Show.
With Jenna and Blue.
Damn.
Now, here's your host, Jenna and Blue Magic.
What's going on? It's the Mixed Tag Show with. All right, come on.
Jenna and Azul.
That's me.
That's you.
Blue in English. How was your week?
Did I do anything? It was okay.
Did you do anything?
I don't know. I just asked you that. No, I didn't do anything. I think I relaxed.
Oh,
You know what it was? I wasn't feeling well. Remember I told you I wasn't feeling well?
Yeah.
I wasn't feeling well.
Oh,
So I rest up a little bit on Saturday.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's okay. But, we blame you. So
It's not my fault. It wasn't a head cold. So it didn't come from me.
How was your week?
My week was fine. I had fun. Had my son this weekend again.
How was that?
It was cool. He's
Yeah.
fun as always. I took him to the Disney Junior Dance Party tour.
Oh, that's cool.
And me and G, he took his daughter.
Hi, G.
Good brother.
Happy belated, right?
Yeah, happy belated birthday. I was gonna get to that.
Oh,
But
sorry.
Saturday we took our kids there. They had a ball.
Yeah.
They're all in the aisle dancing and acting crazy.
Yeah. Were you?
I sing some of the songs.
I know you did. Well, obviously.
I know the songs.
Obviously.
Like with Kion,
Yeah.
Lion Guard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it's life of a parent. Anyway, on Monday,
Sure.
it is a life of a parent.
Sure.
Of course, Sunday was Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
We'll discuss that eventually. And then Monday was G's birthday. Happy birthday, G. And
Happy belated because it's current.
Yeah.
It's Thursday, so it's not his birthday. So happy
Whatever.
belated. Actually, you know what? Happy belated to my good buddies and friends of the show because they support us.
Yeah, it's two of their birthdays this past week. Right?
TKO and Kev J.
Yeah.
Yes. So happy belated.
BFFL, right?
BFFLs, yeah. Exactly. You catching on.
Yeah, I'm learning the lingo
So
a little
it's
bit.
a little-
They got their own little thing that's going on, and they be trying to catch me. in.
They they keeping us old heads in the loop.
I ain't old, I'm just seasoned. But yeah,
Okay.
me, G, and my LB Dave, we went out on Monday and had some drinks and food for
It
his
was my
birthday.
invite.
It was kind of a guy's thing.
It's always a guy's thing. It's always, and I actually saw G's video on his story. I saw that you guys were wearing matching shirts again. But if God forbid if I matched, there'd be an issue.
You talking about to the Saturday?
Yeah, I saw. I peeped it.
That was even planned. It's just like
Oh, but you didn't catch a fit. You didn't catch a fit.
I couldn't do anything.
You didn't catch a fit. You couldn't do anything with. Keep that energy. That's why you're gonna get replaced. Anyway. Okay, so it was a nice little weekend. Good for you.
Yeah, I had a good, nice little weekend. Hopefully, I'll have another one this upcoming weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Good for you.
You like my shirt?
I do.
I like your shirt.
I got a rap. See, this is old school though. Like we gotta get the new Becky shirts.
I do want the new. I was thinking that too. I was getting ready. I was like, I want a Becky shirt.
Yeah. I said, let me rep
Becky today.
We'll place an order on.
The WWE shop.
With that said, if you want to purchase the latest merch, head over to our link. Give us some coins. The link is in the description box on YouTube, right there, right? And it's also on our social media at the Mixed Tag Show or at
Miss Jenna Baby, BAYBEE.
or at Blue Magic Grind, spelled as a sound. Boom! Wow, look at that. I know you.
See, I need the coins because I need to get this LASIK surgery. I don't.
Oh, I thought you just wanted the Becky shirt. We need the Becky shirt.
I know that too, but
And you know what shirt I need?
what? Oh, Boston Hug Connection.
Yes, I do.
They're restocked.
Yes. The most pushed, well, the most not pushed, but the most over tag team, Sasha Banks and... Go ahead, do it. Where is it? And Bailey,
Yeah.
Boston Hug Connection, not getting much time on TV, but damn it, their shirts are selling out. So
Yeah, shout out to them.
shout out to them. But yeah, so if you want to help us out,
Hit those links.
boom.
Want to update the people what's going on with the draft?
Yeah, so we had Hell in the Cell, so that gave a little oomph to everybody.
Nice little push to everybody.
So we got a new winner of the week, not in total, but
Right.
this week we have TK Crew. Shout out to TKO.
Shout out to him.
He got 306 points this week.
Whoa.
Wow. Roman helped a lot.
I'm pretty sure.
He did. There might have been some discrepancy with that. We were talking about it.
That ain't my department.
But it ain't your thing. Whatever. It doesn't matter. After that, we have New Generation X. That is Rob's team, right?
Right.
Rob Stable, we have with 281 points. Then coming up next, Night Riders with 274.5 points. Petty Club Worldwide right afterwards with 272.5. Evolution, Leah.
She made it come up?
203 points.
Whoa. What? Ballin'.
Boom. Undisputed Nation of Domination, only 60 points. And
on a big week like this?
Yeah, no. Rich Fam. Do the walk. Only 47 points.
This is a big week, guys. What happened?
So on that note, Astro is still in the lead with 1,770 points. Up next, Joey, Petty Club Worldwide, 959.5 points. TK Crew, right coming up on his neck, 923. And then we have New Generation X, 725. Undisputed Nation of Domination, 510 points. Evolution, 331 points. This was someone.
Yeah, she had like 2 points.
Exactly.
For like 3 weeks.
Exactly. And Rich Fam, Kev, 243 points.
I have a big feeling for Kev when it comes to
the Super
Show. He's going to do
Super
very
Showdown.
well at the Super Showdown.
Right, because he's going to have Triple H. He's going to have Cena. Those two are probably going to win. And then Ronda's going to win. So it's just...
Yeah, he's
gonna rack up. And when we were making fun of him,
yeah, he was playing in ahead. He knew about these super shows.
He did. He knows.
So let's get into Hell in a Cell. By the way, there was a new cell this past week. It was red. It was red.
Did I didn't get to read up on why they mentioned. Did you see why the cell was red?
No, I didn't see any reasons. There was maybes, maybe to help them see better in the audience, or maybe because Hell is supposed to be red. I just wanted to point out that we're in a new studio.
Yes.
So they changed up, we changed a bit.
That's it. We got to keep up with the WWE.
Right. So how you like? Let's talk about Hell in a Cell.
Let's talk about Hell in a Cell. Speaking of which, after we discuss
Hell in a Cell,
we have a couple of callers coming in. So you see, our hotline is blinging. Right.
Right.
Okay. What did I think of Hell in a Cell overall? You want my rating?
Sure.
I'll give it a C plus. C plus. I didn't hate the pay-per-view. I just thought it went downhill.
I could see that. To me, I didn't go into this with much expectation.
Maybe that's another reason why.
Right. That's why everybody rated so good.
Yeah.
Because you didn't really go in there with much expectation. And it came out pretty good when you don't have expectations for certain things. Because when you looked at the card, it only had 2 Hell in a Cell matches.
Right.
For a name pay-per-view. So it was like, all right, so what are we going to get? By the way, the viewers and listeners also rated it a C+.
Okay, so what did you say it was?
They rated a C+.
What did you?
I give it like a C.
Okay, so we're more or less in the same realm.
Bracket. It wasn't like, oh my God. It had moments, but...
Yeah.
The first moment I was like, oh my God, was like Randy Orton versus Jeff Hardy.
Randy Orton is a disgusting individual, but I like it.
He pulled out a screwdriver.
First of all, I didn't even know what was gonna. I thought he was gonna poke him with it. I didn't, but I thought he was done with the ear.
No.
Clearly, he wasn't done with the ear.
Oh my God.
I swear, I know he helped the lobe somehow, some way, so it didn't actually rip.
Right.
But that part when he turned it, the screwdriver.
Right. It just didn't look right. And then this crazy guy that acts like he's not already hurt.
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy.
There's one guy you got to give it up to. Always puts his body on the line to put on a great show.
Goes and climbs ladders and grabbed the cell and try to swing.
He swung himself and then actually fell face down. I mean, obviously he braced his landing, but still, yeah, that was crazy.
Doesn't he know the rule? The person that sets up the table goes through the table, unless you're Devon Dudley.
And then Randy was just like, whatever.
Yeah, just make this count happen. Give me this win.
We did a little too much recapping on that, but yeah, I thought it was a good match.
Those are wild moments. It's a Hell in a Cell. We only have 2 of them, so we got to talk about what happened.
All right, it was a good match though. We actually, I don't know if we mentioned this. We're gonna mention this in Hot Topic, but with Matt Hardy retiring.
I just thought about it when we was talking about Jeff. I forgot to put it in Hot Topics. But we'll touch it.
It's kind of touching now. A lot of people are thinking, we think that maybe this was kind of Jeff's send off for a while, or maybe possible retirement.
I thought so too, but then he did the house show, so.
All right, so maybe it's just he'll be off of TV for a while,
right?
So, but yeah, I thought it was a good way to start off Hell in a Cell.
Yep.
And then afterwards, what do we have next?
Your homegirl picking up that win.
Was that the second? That wasn't the second match?
Yep, it was.
Yeps, it was?
Yeps, it was.
You sure?
Yes.
All right, we'll talk about it. Now, I normally don't scream anymore, like when
people win titles.
Yeah, the only person I obviously scream for would be
Charlotte.
What? Excuse me? What? Yeah? Yeah, no. But because I honestly, this was one match that I'm like, Charlotte's gonna retain.
Right.
Just because I felt like maybe Becky would get her moment at Evolution.
Yeah.
But to see Becky win and fairly easy at that.
Yeah. Outsmarted her.
Right, she did, and I was very, very happy for it. It was about time that she got her moment. You know, we've been saying this, everyone's been saying this since NXT. Even though we know Becky how good she really is, but she's never been the one to actually have her moment.
Yep.
Right, she's included in moments, but not her actual moment.
Right.
So this was very big for her, and yeah, I was very
especially
happy.
when Charlotte tried to go ahead and raise her hand, like, all right, she beat me. It's like, nah, you're not still in my moment.
And I feel that. And that's real life. Like, no, let me bask in my moment. Exactly. But yeah, I thought that was a really good match, and I'm very, very happy with the result. I read somewhere too that someone feels that going forward now, Charlotte is gonna have shorter reigns. Do you think that?
Yeah, I think they're trying to catch her up to Rick.
To Rick, yeah.
To try to have that mirror.
Yeah. We'll talk a little bit about Charlotte later, but.
Those two had like you said, an amazing match. I enjoyed the match in general. So
it was a good match, and I'm looking. Are you looking forward to Super? I didn't actually think they were gonna have a match at the Super Showdown. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to it, but I just didn't think they were gonna have.
It's a cage match, right?
Steel cage match. I don't know. Is it there or is it somewhere else that they're having a steel cage match?
Steel
I
cage
saw
match.
Somewhere too. I'm not sure if it's there, but needless to say, it's gonna be dope.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
You know what else I'm all for?
What?
AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe.
So, how did you feel about AJ yet again retaining?
I didn't mind this retaining because the ending was very interesting. Because you can't, as much as I love AJ, I am also a Samoa Joe guy. So that ending was very different in terms of tap out on one side and the count out on the other. So now it looks like Samoa Joe has a legit argument of why he should be WWE champion right now. And now somebody said that, I think it was G, like this probably be a good time for a double turn. More so like, now AJ's going to start finding sneaky ways to pull out wins where Samoa Joe's like, all right, now I'm getting tired of being screwed.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
So, see, this is what I mentioned a couple of weeks ago why I felt like AJ's reign has been stagnant. If that happens, where he turns heel again, then I'll be more interested. I feel like AJ's done what he can as a face. Obviously, he's going to get cheered because he's AJ Styles.
Right.
Puts on great matches. I just feel like the feuds have been lackluster. However, this is obviously engaging because it's a personal feud.
Right.
But I also feel there's something missing just because I feel like, okay, AJ's been a face for since when? How long he's been a face for?
Since he's been running the place.
No, because he was clearly
I'm joking.
Clearly a heel.
Nah, it's been since like last September.
Okay, so I just feel like, and I always bring it back to CM Punk's title reign, right? He was, yeah, exactly, and it just made it refreshing. But like you said, it just gives another element to this story, and that Joe has a legitimate reason, a gripe to be annoyed.
Right.
Yeah. So
And this should have been in Hell in a Cell.
Obviously, this should have been.
That's all everybody kept saying.
I
on
think
Twitter.
that I wasn't too much. I didn't care for this match too much, but I thought it would have been better had it been in a Hell in a Cell.
Right. That's all they said on Twitter when we was tweeting and everything like that. Everybody was like, "Why is this not in Hell in a Cell?"
Yeah, I mean, we definitely said it last week. I think this would have made the match even better because SummerSlam it was lit because it was just really really aggressive.
Right.
But this was just like, it wasn't as aggressive in my opinion. But yeah, I hopefully
this double turn happens.
Well, not even just a double turn, but Joe wins.
That'd be something amazing,
right? When is WWE 2K 19 coming out?
Late October. Pre-order start October 9th. Use our link.
We have a link for that?
I mean, I think you can buy it off the WWE shop, though. No?
That'll give us some coins because that's
if you can buy the game on WWE shop, holla at our link.
You use the link. Yeah, okay.
Go back to we're back in the cell.
So Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman ends in no contest. What does this make sense? If it's a Hell in a Cell match, why would it end in no contest?
That was weird.
Right?
I'll give you that. That was weird. But the idea of having Brock come out made sense in my opinion. Because before Kurt left,
the table's bigger, so I just...
Because when... You can't read it. I know.
Right. Go ahead, talk. I'm trying to find it.
Because when Kurt left, Kurt told Paul, "There's no chance in hell that Brock would get another title shot." You're a hater.
I found it.
You're a hater. He said, "No chance in hell that he'll get a title shot." Right? So he walked himself into hell and got a title shot.
Yes, that makes sense. However, and I knew essentially he's owed a rematch. Some way, somehow. So if he wasn't gonna get it, he was gonna take it.
Right.
Let us miss
Brock
a little bit. Okay, we seen him we barely saw him with the title. Let us miss him for a little bit. And people like me who originally loved the fact that Brock came back a couple of years ago. Let me remember. Oh, I remember when Brock was that beast, that dude. You know, he grew out his beard. It was cute. It was dope. But for me, I was just like, dude, I just saw you. I just saw you. And even besides Brock, like, that's not even so much why I was annoyed, because him breaking down the door was cool. It was beast mode. But you're telling me Seth and Dolph climbed the cage, fell into the announcer's table.
Time out. That spot was stupid.
It was stupid because it wasn't. It was staged. It was like it was happening. It was gonna happen. Like,
and then either when they both hit each other, and then like,
let me throw myself over.
Right,
exactly. So that was stupid. I didn't mark out for that.
No.
2, regardless of that, they fell into a table. Braun and Roman just got beat up. They didn't even, Brock didn't even really go ham on them.
No, he beat them down with the table, though.
But
and then he F5'd them.
But hasn't has Roman not gotten up from numerous of F5s before? Yeah. And has Braun not went beast mode before? So you're telling me they can't finish the match?
Yeah, no, that part was stupid. It was stupid.
It doesn't make sense.
It would have made more sense if Brock would have just grabbed one of them and brought him to the back and beat him up some more or something like that.
Yeah, and especially it was all that time left over, so something else could have happened.
You know what I thought was going to happen? I thought Baron Corbin was going to come out and give Brock the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yeah.
And tell Brock to cash in.
Yeah.
And then have that. That would have been like a...
that would have been something. That would have been something different.
Like you spoke about last week, because the briefcase just sitting there.
Yeah.
He just handed it to him.
Yeah.
And he made the match. So he didn't really cash in.
For that matter, even KO.
Right. Somebody could have grabbed the briefcase and came and cashed in.
And now it just goes back to the situation of we really wasted the Money in the Bank pay-per-view.
And Hell in a Cell.
And
reality.
But not even so much Hell in a Cell, but just Money in the Bank briefcase. The whole point is I'm not going to get into it. I say it every week.
It's both things. It was Hell in a Cell. It was only 2 Hell in a Cell matches. The first one was good. The second one was like another cue. When does that have happen? Mick Foley finished the match.
Okay? He fell 20 feet and then also fell through the cage,
he
the
had
cell.
teeth
So,
coming out his nose.
and still finished the match. So this, whatever.
You want to go into calls now?
Yeah, let's get into call-ins and see what people thought about it. All right, so we're going to get into our first call-ins.
Yeah, let's see who's going to be the first person to call.
All right.
Hey, caller. What's your name and where you're calling from?
It was good, man. My name is Dallas Fort, and I'm calling from Long Island, New York.
Oh.
What's up, Dallas? How are you?
Yeah, it was good, guys. I'm cool, man.
Good. So what did you think about Hell in a Cell?
Hell in a Cell was pretty dope. For me, some things could have been different,
Mm-hmm.
but it was a dope show altogether.
If you had to rate it from like 1 to 10, what would you give it?
I'd give it a 7 or an 8.
Oh, okay, that's pretty high.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah, reason being, I kind of like the way I'm kind of partial to the way the main event ended.
Right.
The fight was dope. I mean, having both stables come in and actually, brawl per se, on top of the cell and stuff like that was pretty cool. I just don't like the way they're booking Braun.
Why is that?
I don't want him. Pardon?
Why is that?
Because I think he's really gotten over with the crowd, with the fan base, and right. I think he'd do well as a champ.
Yeah,
he does. From a marketing perspective, he would do really well. The kids love him.
Yeah.
But turning him heel just to get Roman over doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, and then
I just hope that he doesn't end up like Ryback.
Yeah.
Booked him really well. Booked him as a powerhouse. He did really well at first. The whole feed me more gimmick, and then
he just died out, right?
He changed his character after him coming back, and nothing came of it. So I just hope that doesn't happen to Braun.
And it's like they book him as this monster, right? And technically, when you're a monster and you're a beast, you're supposed to win, but he can't seem to win a championship.
He can't never get over the hill for that.
Right?
The only title he held was the Greatest Royal Rumble title.
And that's not even...
that lasted like a week.
Yeah, he's not even going to defend that.
Right.
Yeah. It was just something... What did you think about Brock returning?
I think it's a dope concept to have him in the picture, although I don't like the way they're booking Braun. Reason being, he's a big draw.
Right.
He really is a big draw. I think people have seen Roman and Braun a lot, just as much as they've seen Brock and Roman a lot. And I think adding him to the picture, possibly making it a triple threat would be quite interesting.
But aren't you... All right, because I said this earlier in the show. I feel like I'm tired of seeing this trio basically getting interchanged in and out with the title. Don't you think maybe we can have other people kind of just like fight for the belt instead of just having Brock yet again?
Yeah, you could. I personally don't like a part-time champion.
Right.
I love the days when, the title was defended every week, and, sometimes you had the title change hands on a Monday night or a Thursday night at that time on SmackDown. I think it would be dope. But, it all has to do with writing and how they look at things. We can only do so much from this end.
That's true.
I mean, look, take Daniel Bryan, for example. I mean, the fans spoke, and he got his title shot.
Right.
And actually won.
And that was, I guess that was what's best for business at the time. You had the underdog story, him coming back, 2 matches plus an injury. It was dope to have him win. But I don't know, man. I really can't fathom what they're doing, which is why I'm very partial now to. I prefer to watch NXT than.
Exactly.
It's most people nowadays.
Than mainstream. I mean, the writing is so much better.
Right.
Yep.
But Hell in a Cell wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad. I didn't think it was a terrible pay-per-view. It started off really, really well, but then it just kind of got bad, and then a little more bad, and then what's going on? Like I was confused after a while. So, but it wasn't on WWE standards. It wasn't too bad. So.
Yeah, I concur. I mean, Seth is always going to come out and tear the house down. I have not lost faith in him, regardless, whether he's fighting for a title or not. He just has good matches.
Right.
That's very true.
I think he's a good contender for the title.
I agree.
As well as I really want to see a triple threat of the Shield for a title, whether it be Intercontinental, some title.
It has to be for either the Universal or WWE Championship, whatever
I see that more of a platform for WrestleMania.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When it's all maybe when it's all said and done, I don't know, but that definitely is going to happen sooner or later. So.
Yeah.
Well, Dallas, thank you so much for calling in.
Cool, man. Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Really cool.
All right.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Hey, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm Patrick, and I'm calling from the Bronx.
The Bronx is in the building.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, Jenna.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm good.
I'm good.
What did you think of Hell in the Cell?
I really liked it. It was real good. Well, my favorite match was Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre and
Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler, yeah. It was, wow,
that was a really good match. Did you like the outcome of it?
Yeah, they could put on a show. Drew McIntyre and what's his name, and Dean Ambrose, they could put in a real good show. I like this too. They could put in a real good show.
Yeah.
Wasn't you disappointed that Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose didn't come out as the Shield? They just came out as individuals?
You say if I was disappointed?
Yeah, that they didn't come out as the Shield. They came out as individuals.
Not really.
He was just excited for the match anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, not really.
What did you think of the main event?
The main event. I was not too mad, but it was real out there. But I was shocked about Brock Lesnar returning back to the. I was shocked. I thought he resigned or something like that.
I thought he'd be gone for a while. So did you like him coming back?
Well, yeah, because he did. Yeah, it was a good pop.
But did you like? Are you excited that he's back or?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so everyone that basically called said they liked him coming back.
Of course, because Brock is money. I'm trying to tell you, Brock is the man. All right?
Brock he's the real deal.
Nah, don't you want to see Brock win the Universal title back and then go into UFC with the title in his hands?
Patrick, don't agree with that, Patrick.
And win both titles? That's monumental.
Patrick, don't you agree with that?
Don't influence his thoughts. Let him be.
Patrick's on my side. No, he doesn't. Nobody wants to see that.
No. I would not. Roman Reigns, he deserves to be champion, though. He's a fighting champ.
See? He's a fighting champ. That's my man, Patrick. See?
He busts his ass day in and day out. He's a fighting champ.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Patrick. See, you almost you scared me a little bit, but see? He's a smart man.
Champ,
don't be afraid of Jenna. Speak your mind.
He's a fighting champ. That's what we want to see. We want to see the title be defended.
You.
Whatever.
Speak for yourself.
So on a scale from 1 to 10, Patrick, what do you rate it? From 1 to 10.
I rated a 7.5.
A 7.5.
Huh?
You said 7.5?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad. That's
like
not...
C+.
Okay.
The only reason why, because I'm mad that Sasha has been on the card since like Money in the Bank. No, since since SummerSlam or something like that.
She wasn't even at SummerSlam.
No, last pay-per-view she was on was Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
The last pay-per-view she was on was Money in the Bank. I peeped that. I'm like, damn.
Yes. Yeah. So you already know we're not that happy about that.
See, we all agree on something. We want more Sasha.
We want more Sasha. What is it? We want Sasha.
I'm gonna do a sign like that. You want Sasha?
Exactly.
Where's Sasha?
Exactly. See, we gotta make it a hashtag.
Exactly. Hashtag. Where's Sasha?
Exactly. All right, Patrick. But thank you for calling in.
Alrighty.
All right. Bye.
Have a good one.
All right, caller. What's your name and where you calling from?
Blue. My arch nemesis.
Is this Hill Genie?
This is Hill Genie.
Hill Genie has arrived.
Oh man!
Remember, we've been saying it's not gonna be the mixed tag show with Jenna and Blue. It's gonna be Jenna and Genie. So
yeah, for the listeners,
all right,
this is who Jenna been trying to replace me by. It's Hill Genie.
You've been acting
from Orlando.
up. You've been acting up, man. I tell you, I need a replacement.
Yeah, right.
Yo,
What's
Jenna,
going on,
what's
Genie?
up, boo?
What's up?
Miss Jenna, baby. I see Jenna out there. She lit. She got on her chalk line jackets.
You know,
days. She
Trying-
flex up.
Trying to stunt a little bit, just a little bit.
You know, she out here dripping. You know,
You already know. You already know.
Don't be gassing her. She got
And
enough big head. Don't be giving her too
No,
much props.
I like being gassed up, so I don't mind it.
yo.
All right,
Yeah,
Genie.
and then you got Blue over here. He just looks wet.
Really? All right, man. What you think about Hell in the Cell, man? What did you like or dislike about it?
Hell in a Cell, for me, I have to say this year's been kind of up and down with the shows. You know, some of the shows have been kind of meh.
Right.
But I think from the pre-show up until Bree mode, up until Bree mode,
You're not feeling Bree mode?
no. Once that music hits, it's over for me, bro. So, I'm glad they put her like towards the end, because for me, it was everything up until Bree mode was great. And then she came out, and then it just downhill.
That's true. It definitely did go downhill after that match. I felt like.
So you didn't like the main event match?
It was cool.
Hello?
But last year in 2017, it's just like, you know, you kind of have this expectation like, oh man, they're about to go in the cell. It's about to be lit.
Right.
And then it was cool. You know what I mean? Like, I remember I was saying to my boys, maybe Roman's gonna spear him through the cell, or you know, maybe Braun is gonna throw him through the cell, you know. And it was just like they just kind of had a match.
So what did you think about Brock returning?
That's great. That's the best part of the whole match.
Exactly.
You know, because honestly, I didn't go on the message boards like some people do that. They're on there all day. I didn't go on the sheets. So when the music hit, I was like, oh, it's lit.
There was some element of surprise going on.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, oh, he's finna pull up. You know, we thought he pulled up.
I guess. I'm not. I wasn't crazy for it. I didn't care for it.
She's a hater, man. She doesn't like Brock.
I'm not a hater. It's just like, why do we need to see these three in another pay-per-view for the title again? I'm not a hater. I'm just saying, let someone else rock, right? That's what you do.
No, I feel you. I feel like they should have pulled the trigger on this, like, at least by SummerSlam.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, let's give us some time to miss Brock, right? And then him pop up out of nowhere. But we just saw him. Right?
Yeah, and I mean, we all know why. It's because they got that big Saudi Arabia show. So, you know, they're in the game of promoting. Which
money
is like,
talks, right?
Yeah, I get it. They're in the promotion machine. You know, it's like we're all in music. So we could kind of look at it differently. You know what I mean?
Right.
They have this big concert in Saudi Arabia that they have to sell.
Yeah.
So who are you going to call? You're going to call your Jay-Z and your Drake. You know what I mean?
Right.
You got to sell this big thing in Saudi Arabia.
That makes sense. That makes a whole lot of sense. See, this is why I need you to be replaced. You need to replace Blue. Common sense. Common sense.
I'm here for you, little baby. You know what
Nah,
I'm saying?
man. Get out of here,
to be honest with you, a couple weeks ago, I wanted to be on here to talk about All In.
Right.
And then your boy over here, he
was but then he calls me the hater, but he's the number one hater.
Yeah, right.
That's the heel over here. So
You know, guys like, all right, Blue went to the show. I watched the show. You know, I was like, wicked. This could be. We could talk about
exactly.
it. Like, I wanted to be.
We could have had a nice little powwow about
My
it.
bad. I didn't know you really wanted to call in, man. You should have texted me.
Yeah, my brother. I tweeted about it.
I thought you was just trying to.
You want me to do?
I thought you just want to trying to steal my gimmick again.
Something like that. He is trying to take your shine, but I'm considering it. Yeah,
nah, trust me. I'm pulling up with the steel chair. I'm not hitting you in the back. Straightforward. Straight headshot, 1990 style.
That's it. Attitude era.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a tag team partner now since y'all want to try and gang up on me, man. All right, thanks for calling, Genie, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, man. To you guys, big up, man. I love what you guys are doing, especially virally. You know, with the skits and everything.
Thank you.
You know, I love how Jenna acts like she just hates you.
I do,
you know,
but
it's not an act.
It's not.
I love everything. Yeah, the viral stuff is great, man. You know, I see you guys promoting the shop. Continue doing the skits. Continue doing the thing. It's really refreshing to see like a urban style podcast. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you guys are giving us a voice.
Exactly.
You know, really love what you guys are doing. And keep it up, man. I'd love to be an actual guest at some point.
Absolutely, man. Definitely. We got to talk about it soon.
I'll see you when I come back down to Orlando.
Big gang.
Yeah.
Right,
bye. See that? See, I can vibe with him.
Don't be trying to sell my spot, all right?
All right, so that was our call-ins.
Yep.
So a lot of people look like they pretty much enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess I did not enjoy it. It's just
it's about not having expectations for it.
Exactly.
And then just letting it rock.
Right, and it slightly, I guess, exceeded expectations.
Right. Let's go into your show. How did you like your show?
I didn't think it was as bad as last week. Last week I gave it an F. I think this week was more so C-, C. I don't remember what exactly I rated it, but it wasn't too bad like last week.
I gave it a C- only because I had like a few moments that I like as well.
Yeah.
The people gave it a C+. Same thing as Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
What did you like about the show? Nothing.
There's nothing really stood out to me, to be honest with you.
What stood out to me?
What?
Leo Rush and Bobby Lashley.
So, and I had this conversation with you and a couple of other people. I like Leo, and I find him very annoying, which he's supposed to be, but not annoying in that sense. He's just, I feel like it comes off forced.
Right.
And that's what I'm having trouble getting behind, but I think he's extremely talented. He is extremely talented, just like all those flips and whatnot. Yeah, that was pretty dope. So I like the pairing of him and Bobby Lashley. Before I was like, but he's a good mouthpiece.
You know what I saw online that people was talking about, and I know that you're gonna like?
What?
This whole thing with Ronda Rousey versus the Riot Squad.
This has anything to do with Sasha?
Yes.
Okay.
See, I know I got you.
I'm listening.
Everybody's is wondering why is the Bella Twins backing Ronda and not, excuse me,
Boss time.
Sasha and Bailey. Sasha and Bailey are not doing anything right now.
They came out for Connor's cure.
Right.
Kids.
That match against Dana Brooke, and Dana Brooke trying to get back on the books by herself and whatever.
You think they're going to go anywhere with that?
With Dana Brooke?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to do what you said. Team her up with somebody. Probably to go after the tag team titles.
Okay.
They probably trying to build, because you can tell from the show by itself that they're trying to build up teams.
Yeah.
This past week.
Right.
But why did Bella Twins and not Sasha and Bailey to back Ronda against the Riot Squad? They already have history.
Especially with Sasha, Ronda, and I believe Bailey all being like very cool with each other.
Right. And the whole 4 horsewomen from different leagues and.
Especially exactly, because if that's the route that you're going, you want to implement some type of story now. So when it comes to that,
plant the seed,
and
watch it grow.
Well, but when you say plant the seed, essentially, everyone knows I'm not the biggest Bella Twins fan, but when you say plant the seeds, right? If this is how they're gonna go for Ronda versus Nikki, wouldn't you want the Bellas to be on the good side, the good graces? I know you don't want it, but if this is creative, and then Vince told you, we're going to have Nikki versus...
Yo, your impressions are hilarious of Vince. I'm sorry.
We're going to have Nikki versus Ronda at Evolution. So, so on that note, we have to... So we have to have some type of, okay, she's trusting them, and then that 1 second turns on them.
Yeah, so, I guess.
I agree. Listen, I agree. My favorite superstar isn't on the show, and that's the constant thing that I see on Twitter. And you heard Patrick earlier say, right, where's Sasha? Right? So I definitely agree.
One more thing about Raw.
What else about Raw?
Undertaker versus Triple H. At the Super
I
Show.
didn't really want to talk about that, but okay, talk about it.
No, but the whole thing with Shawn Michaels and Kane in each other's corners.
Yeah.
I think that's excessive. No?
First of all, isn't Kane a mayor?
He's a mayor.
Why are you taking a random trip to Australia?
Australia. Down under.
Right.
To handle some mayor business.
Right. So
that's what I'm saying.
I'm not invested into this match, I'm not even invested into this pay-per-view.
It's a throwaway. It's just like the greatest Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
So, Raw wasn't that...
What did you think about Nia Jax returning? You think that she has a storyline or anything?
No. Nia Jax just returned to backup Ember Moon.
Yeah.
And then nothing else happened in that match but, Alicia Fox and Mickie James lost.
Yeah. I mean, and I think they would probably have her out there just because she won a couple of awards and been doing a lot of media. I noticed that she's been used a lot for media, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But, yeah, other than that...
Who do you see her Evolution matchup against?
Nia? That, I don't know. I really can't. And I'm not even being funny. I just don't know what would be the direction for her at this point.
I have the greatest matchup for her.
What? Who?
Awesome Kong.
Okay. Just the two biggest women.
Not the two, but the two most dominant.
Dominant women going at each other.
Right. And she's still in shape because she's been doing the Glow series on Netflix.
So she's still in ring shape.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome Kong versus Nia Jax.
But then this goes back to what I told you before. This is not a current feud.
Yo, they're ready.
Vince.
They're ready.
Awesome.
They're ready to throw away the pay-per-view. So why not add on to it? I just want to see some fun stuff to happen. If you're gonna throw it away, at least make it entertaining for me.
Okay. Well, that was Raw.
To my show.
Your show.
SmackDown Live.
SmackDown Live. The Blue Show.
The Blue Show. We had a nice U.S. title match.
Before you get into it, what did you rate it?
I'd give it like a B.
B?
Yeah.
What did I say?
You said like a B plus, right?
Yeah. Okay. B+.
People said A minus. So
okay.
Again, SmackDown dominates Raw. Anyway, Nakamura defended his title against Rusev.
Yes.
This U.S. title. We haven't seen it in a while, so Paige was like, "Hey, let's have a title match."
Yes.
It wasn't on Hell in a Cell.
So in English, we had a Rusev Day is no more. It's actually Aiden Day.
It's Aiden Day.
Right. Aiden English Day? Aiden Day?
That turn. What did you think about the turn? By the way, he turned on Rusev at SmackDown if you didn't see.
They saw.
In case they did.
Okay. I don't know. I felt like it was too predictable, and I thought it was too soon. I mean, I know Rusev Day's been going on for a while, but I think they could have done it a little bit cleaner.
Right.
Like more unexpectedly, just because he was ranting backstage.
Right.
So if you're ranting backstage, you're obviously unhappy. You want to do something. I wouldn't have let the turn happen now. I would have let it happen maybe exactly, because then again, you want to be emotionally invested and connected into something, and this was just like, all right, we see it's coming. When is it gonna happen?
And I agree with you. It happened way too soon.
Yeah.
Even though Rusev Day's been going on for a while, it hasn't been pushed like it should have been.
Exactly.
And now you had a chance to put the people behind it.
Yeah. I mean, they are behind it.
They were. We don't know what's going to happen now, really, because somebody made an argument. If you're cheering for Becky, why won't you cheer for Aiden? It's kind of the same situation where he's getting a short end of the stick and being blamed for everything.
No. Because Becky and Charlotte has been going on for years, and Becky, since again NXT, has been in the shadow of the other four horsewomen.
But you can't sympathize with Aiden though.
But Aiden's been messing up.
But has he really?
There's a couple of times he cost them
right.
stuff. So in that sense, you can understand why Rusev would be annoyed or Lana would be annoyed, because you're the weak link of the team, whereas Becky had her moment to shine at SummerSlam, and Charlotte took it away from her.
Yeah, but he always meant well when he did what he did.
I understand he meant well, but it's not the same scenario of Becky earning an opportunity and then Charlotte just coming back and getting that opportunity.
Yeah, I understand that, but when they say that if you cheer for Becky, it's because you can feel for that. You can't feel for Aiden?
No. I don't. And this is creative's issue where they should have
invested more into it.
That and
sorry, I was trying to slide down the screen.
I'm always here for boss time, but yeah, one, they pulled the trigger too soon. Two, if someone keeps messing up, I'm gonna get kind of like when you mess up, I get annoyed with you. So
it's not as often.
It's often. So I get annoyed. So I'm not gonna sympathize with that.
You know what drop we never really use when we talking about this person all the time?
Oh.
The big dog.
The big yeah, Michael calls something else. The big dog.
Yeah, he just makes everything cringeworthy.
But we're on SmackDown, so that's okay.
Yeah, let's continue with SmackDown.
So we had AJ Styles versus Andrade Cien Almas. Again, what did you think of that match?
The match was very clean between the two. Even the finish was very creative.
Yes.
Nobody saw that coming.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever seen AJ do that.
Yeah.
So, and then Samoa Joe coming out at the end.
Yeah, obviously you knew that was going to happen because he's annoyed about the results from this past Sunday. Yeah, it was a great match, dope match.
Nice build up for Cien because it shows that he's getting very comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, but ever since he got onto the main roster, him and Zelina, there's just been this whole vibe that they obviously know what they're doing, and
right.
they just put on really good, entertaining shows. So
hopefully the rumors are true that he's gonna win the Royal Rumble.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
And hopefully he actually wins whatever title I'm assuming the WWE Championship he goes after. He actually wins it.
Do you think he should go against the U.S. title first against Nakamura?
Yes, because I miss the days of you calling up a superstar or a wrestler back in the day, and you had to get a mid card before you got
to the main.
Yeah, I mean there was a few people, very few, that would get the WWF Championship.
Probably like Hogan and Ultimate. No.
Yokozuna. I think Psycho Sid.
Yeah.
He got, you know what I mean? So like I said, there's very few people that actually got the heavyweight title. The whole thing of watching someone grow. Triple H, Rock, Austin, Shawn,
Brett.
You know what I mean? And now they're
Owen.
legends. Owen, he never got the big one.
Well,
but yeah,
he's building up
Jericho.
Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit.
Exactly.
Sheesh.
The list goes on. Even Jeff Hardy and the Hardys. And,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Edge and Christian. It's just you build up. And then
build up.
And eventually they become main eventers. Nowadays, we just throw everybody. Okay.
Oh, he's big.
He's big.
Do your events.
He looks like he's a big guy. He can be the face of the company. Let's give him the title. And then let's give him. Then the thing is, then you're gonna win the WWE Championship and then get the U.S. Like that doesn't make sense
backwards.
To me. Yeah. So I think he should win a mid-card title first. Obviously, the U.S. title, especially he's a heel, foreign heel.
Right.
Vince loves that. Foreign heel. So yeah, but it was a really, really good match.
And then Nakamura, him already got his history, so
yeah,
that had to happen. Let's go into the main event of SmackDown: Becky Lynch title celebration.
So I was confused, not by the segment. I thought the segment was dope. I know that they changed Becky for not being a full-out heel, so essentially she's probably a tweener.
Right.
But it was tweeners tipping on the side of heel. It was very, disrespectful. Yeah. Because, a tweener, because she did pan to the crowd a little bit. She's like, this is nice, right?
Yeah.
So she said that. So she didn't diss the crowd. But she was very disrespectful to Charlotte.
Was.
Wow, disrespectful. And I was here for it.
She was. And that's, I guess it's the part of being a tweener. Like, even though it's kind of when you've been pushed down, like Becky has been, and you finally get your moment, you want to glow a bit. Like,
yes,
I'm going to talk my stuff.
Right.
Like, no, I didn't want you to raise your hand Sunday, but you do it now. I'm joking.
You can call me queen.
You can put it around my waist though. Like
you can call me queen. You B.
Right.
So yeah, I love this. all Becky needed was a slight character change. It was there from jump, but we just had to give her
music.
Nah, you think so?
We need new music because she doesn't come out and play to the crowd anymore anyway.
Yeah, she did. For Hell in the Cell, she did the whole thing on the rope. She did.
She pump faked it. She didn't do all the way though.
But she hasn't done that even before she got a face. She hasn't done the whole thing in a while. But she did go to the crowd and did pan to the crowd.
I think a music change would be nice for it. And I also thought that Paige should have got a little bit more involved and played to the PCB thing. Like
PCB,
like
throwback.
Come on, guys. We go back. Let's not create before she left. She's just like, all right, take your word for it, and dipped. Like,
yeah, I just feel like that's just creative, not realizing what they had there. So, but it was a good show. I enjoyed it.
The week wasn't that bad. We had worse last week.
Yeah, it was. They picked it up slightly, but I'm not too. What's the word I'm looking for? Confident that they'll continue a nice trend. It's just going to be back and forth.
Yeah, we're heading over to Australia, so that's our next stop.
That's how it's going to go.
But here on this show, our next stop is the Hot Topics.
Well, you want to talk about NXT?
You're right.
It was a good match we saw yesterday.
It was a very good match yesterday.
With Ricochet and Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
It was a really good.
They had a nice 30 minutes.
Yeah. And let me tell you something. We talked about it a little bit last week. It just felt like something about NXT is lacking.
Right.
And even to a certain extent, this episode too was lacking, just for the simple fact that where's the NXT champion? Where's the NXT women's champion? Where, you know what I mean? So it was like, I just feel like, what are we doing?
Right.
Especially, and if Shayna didn't get called up, so she didn't get called up, so you didn't see her. Bianca's there, so it's just a lot going on right now. But that match was everything between Ricochet and Pete.
It was two different styles that really meshed very well together.
Yeah.
And you could see the difference between them, and and it was title versus title.
Yeah.
They both was on the line.
Yeah.
So it hooked the crowd.
Yeah.
And nobody knew which way it was gonna go.
Yeah.
And until the last minute, Undisputed or whatever. But that match
between War Raiders came out. Yeah.
Yeah, but that match between them two, I can see something going on between them in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And Morrow, he's like he's this generation's JR because
he deserves so much more, man.
That
he deserves so much
we were
more.
watching it like just everything he was calling out, it just made it just like a big match feel, which is essentially what it was, right? So
and naming the right moves.
Naming the
right moves.
No Michael Cole here.
Real quick about the announcers, and I mentioned this to you. Don't you feel that SmackDown announcers have a more fluent, cohesive unit amongst them as opposed to Raw?
Yeah, but I think they're commentating. Their team is boring.
Who, SmackDown?
Yeah. That's one thing about SmackDown that I think can get changed.
Who you don't like? You don't like Phillips? You don't like Baxton? Or you don't like
both?
Graves?
Both. I tolerate Graves only when he doesn't go in on Sasha. But, yeah, Graves is cool. He's good at what he does, being a heel commentator. But with Phillips and Braxton,
I don't know.
I call this man Braxton. My fault.
I just feel like when I was watching
Byron Saxton. I was thinking about the Jamie Foxx show.
No, I said Braxton too by mistake. Because they kind of sounded the same character.
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
It's just that the Hell in a Cell, when you hear the difference in the commentary, like Michael Cole's so more dominant on the mic than the other two, whereas SmackDown is a little bit more evened out.
And I'm gonna give
feel to it.
I'm gonna give Michael Cole some credit though. Even though he botches like calls and it's names and this and that and a third, and he says weird stuff, there's more of a passion. Like he's trying to put more of a passion. With Phillips and them, I just don't hear that.
It's robotic.
Right. So I feel like they need someone that's very passionate on SmackDown, and it would just bring back Morrow. I don't mind that. Yeah, absolutely, I don't mind. That'd be great. But yeah, and then even with like Renee, Corey, and Michael, it's just like, again, Renee says bits and pieces. It's still, like you said, not a cohesive unit where she's actually putting her input. But
yeah. Let's go to Hot Topics. We went off the road a little bit.
Okay.
Let's start off with the viewership.
So Raw, again, for another week, viewership decreased. I didn't get the numbers, but they decreased while SmackDown rose this week. We're cheering that Raw.
I just like that SmackDown is winning. Because people doubted.
Yes, SmackDown is winning, but in as a whole, the company isn't winning.
Well, Raw has to go against Monday Night Football, so they just need to step up their writing.
Yeah.
Like that.
But regardless, even before the season started, they were just, you know what I mean?
There's no competition. We'll talk about that in the debates more about that, but
okay.
Yeah.
Are we?
Yeah.
So the reason for Drake Maverick and Leo Rush, apparently the reason for their appearances on Raw, creative felt that AOP needed a mouthpiece, which they did.
They do. Are we just calling them AOP now, or Authors of Pain still on the table?
AOP. Because that's what they're called, AOP now. Apparently they're no longer called Authors of Pain. So
dang it.
So they are called AOP, and yes, they did. That's what made them so much more dominant too. Back in NXT,
right? And Leo Rush,
Leo Rush, he's a funny guy. He's a funny guy. I think we mentioned it earlier.
Right.
Yeah, just essentially, he got himself over by promoting himself on social media, and that's essentially how it works with anything, right? If you want to get yourself over, you have to utilize social media, and that's what he's done. It's been an ultimate troll.
I would have loved for them to swap, though, because it would have been a whole lot better for Leo Rush to talk all that smack with that much muscle behind him.
Yeah.
And Drake Maverick, trying to coach Bobby Lashley through, or speak Bobby Lashley through.
But see, AOP is more serious, where Leo is kind of...
But that's why it would work.
Comedy. Nah, I just don't think comedy should work with AOP. I don't want to make them a joke. We talk about how Braun is kind of like...
You think Leo Rush is a joke, like a comedy bit?
Yeah, as he says funny things.
I think he's more of like a good talker than a comedy bit.
Nah, he says funny. He says a lot of funny things, and his mannerisms are very like comedic.
I think he's more sarcastic than comedic.
It's more so comedic. It's not sarcastic.
But to me, Maverick doesn't look right with AOP.
He doesn't. That's why I don't think that was the right fit. But I don't think Leo Rush would be a good fit for AOP at all. You just need someone that's serious and just how their gimmick was in NXT. It was straight business. It wasn't any smiling or joking or whatever or flipping around. It was straight. I'm gonna beat you up.
Right.
And I don't think Leo would fit for that. But yeah, that's the reason for apparently why we've seen them more on the main roster.
Well, according to Uncle Dave Meltzer, Vince McMahon and not Triple H will be the one running the first ever all women's WWE Evolution pay-per-view.
I am not excited about this pay-per-view anymore.
Well, it kind of makes sense of why we see the matches that's happening, though, right?
Yeah.
It kind of makes sense now because Vince is the one controlling it, so he's going to put his vision behind it.
Let's bring back Braun Pitt. Let me lie. But yeah, obviously, it's very apparent that Vince McMahon has his hand in it, which I'm actually surprised. I understand that most of the time he does run, not most of the time,
specialties.
Just most of the time he runs the product. But I thought this would be the first time we see
Triple H like really run the whole
main roster, the pay-per-view. So I'm very disappointed in that.
Yeah. Well, Pentagon and Phoenix, we talked about. Pentagon was possibly...
Hold on, but before you get into that, if we talk, keeping it to the women.
You want to keep it in the women?
Yeah, that's because that's what's up next for the Charlotte Flair thing.
Okay, so apparently WWE didn't want fans to boo Charlotte.
Not apparently that it was
Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell. There was pictures that generated online of them confiscating
signs that said "boo the woo."
Yeah.
So, I mean, they don't want people to pick sides, but they want people to pick sides, but when people do pick the sides, they don't like it, so they take away signs.
Exactly.
So, because apparently there was some anti-Roman ones too that they took as well. I seen it. I forgot to put it in. I forgot where, but yeah.
Okay.
But you can't win what the WWE feels like.
Listen, it comes down to it, and I felt like we started the whole
Charlotte.
Yeah, why we don't boo Roman, but we boo Roman, but we don't boo Charlotte. And now
everybody's ready to boo Charlotte.
And now everybody's ready to do that.
Well, get ready to boo her some more because according to Sportskeeda, Charlotte is the early favorite to win the Women's Royal Rumble in 2019, and possibly leading into.
Give me something.
There you go.
What do we have?
I'll pass it off as I finish this, and possibly lead to Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 35. But Dave Meltzer.
Boo! We don't want that.
And Dave Meltzer said it's not a solid lock for the WrestleMania match.
So apparently it's not an actual lock, which I'm fingers crossed. Nobody wants. That's gonna be a struggle. That's gonna be a struggle match, and just whatever.
It's not gonna be a struggle match. It's more so like, what are we doing? Like,
I think it'll be a struggle match, to be honest with you. Charlotte's a good wrestler, I think, but I think we're starting to see more and more that there are other women that are more talented than her.
Not now. See, we've been through this.
But again, it goes back to, especially in 2016, where the whole thing was, Charlotte's the greatest thing ever. She's the greatest heel. She's this, she's that. But then now when you see other people such as, we don't care for her, but Alexa Bliss, right. Other people that are stronger on the mic and other people that are actually stronger in the ring. Like, I don't know if you actually watched the Mixed Match Challenge.
I didn't get a chance.
The season premiere. Dare I say Naomi is stronger in the ring than Charlotte?
I need that.
No, you don't agree?
I didn't see the Mixed Match Challenge.
But in general, they've had matches together. You don't think? I just because the thing is, I felt like Charlotte has taken a step back. I don't know again if it comes down to who she's in the ring with, or what. But I just don't feel like what we saw when she was on Raw and everything. There was just. Well, then it comes down to who she was working with. I'm not going to say any names because I say her name all the time, but
I don't know if I'm ready to say she's Charlotte. I mean, if Naomi's ready to give her a run for her money yet, but Naomi is skilled in the ring. She's very underrated.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I can say she's as good as Charlotte just yet. Maybe I need to see a little bit more.
I don't know. Naomi hits a lot of moves cleanly, whereas Charlotte seems to botch a lot. I mean, and that's an overrated thing to say,
right? Because
everyone does. Right. Everyone's gonna mess up, so it's not just her. It's not just this person, but a lot of, like, lately it just hasn't been clean for a while. So and when I was looking at the match and I was just looking at certain moves that Naomi was hitting, and just her athleticism, we say Charlotte's the most athletic.
Right.
Or superior, gifted, whatever they say about her. But then I'm looking at like someone like Naomi. I'm like,
No, Naomi's very overlooked. Like, for whatever reason it is, she's overlooked. I've been said she's very talented in the ring. She was a better Funkadactyl.
Yeah.
She was one of the top wrestlers on SmackDown with Becky. It's just that, I don't know, they never want to push her as much as other than the time when she had the title. Yeah. When they finally gave her the run.
And she had a good run.
Yeah, she did. She had a very good run.
I don't know, but going back to the whole Flair and Rousey thing, I just feel like, especially if Ronda isn't strong on the mic and what have you, and then Charlotte is, and it's going to be a situation where it'll be awkward, because I don't know if Charlotte is necessarily capable of bringing that out of Ronda. We'll see. Maybe Ronda gets better from them. It's a few months.
She got time. Speaking of Ronda, let's talk about her Hell in a Cell opponent. Alexa Bliss is currently pulled from Mixed Match Challenges due to an injury, and she's replaced live events, and she's replaced by Ember Moon,
which Ember and Braun actually got the win. A lot of people were thinking this was kayfabe,
but she didn't wrestle on Raw.
Right, but just in general, a lot of people afterwards, since it was announced Tuesday, thought it was kayfabe. What do you think?
Nah, I think it's something probably serious, because again, she didn't get involved at all in Raw, and she was just like more like she said it. I'm just gonna watch them do their thing, and whatever case may be. So I don't know how serious it is, because she was at least at ringside.
Yeah,
but maybe it's something real, because they wouldn't pull her from Mixed Match Challenge, because that Team Big Little is like one of their money makers.
Yeah, I don't think it's too serious, just because I think I read something yesterday that it doesn't look like something that will keep her out from too long, but for precautions, they want to just take her out of it. But I think it's messed up that if, let's say, third or fourth week, she does feel better and she's ready to get back in the ring, now you're going to replace Ember? Like, Ember did all the work, and now you're just going to throw her back in.
I don't think they're going to throw her back in at this point.
That's what they said. The report I read, that they don't think it's that serious, so they'll just bring her back in. But that's what they did earlier this year for the first season. When Charlotte couldn't go, they replaced her with Becky, and then when Charlotte was ready to go the next week, they took Becky
yeah, they
out.
did.
So I don't think that's fair. If someone replaces you and they did the work,
lost your spot.
You lost your spot. So, but whatever, hopefully she wish her a speedy recovery. So,
yeah. Let's go back to now Pentagon and Phoenix.
Yes.
We talked about Pentagon possibly getting like a WWE contract.
Yes.
Well, apparently it's not true because him and Phoenix has locked down a contract with MLW till 2019, Lucha Underground till 2020, and AAA and CMLL. So CMLL is their way of trying to get into the New Japan route as well, and they also got a trademark for the Lucha Brothers.
Nice.
So shout out to them.
Madison Rain,
a.k.a. Ashley Rain. Remember her from the Mae Young Classics?
Mm-hmm.
She started to do a Ring of Honor to be part of Women of Honor.
Have you been watching the Mae Young Classic?
I have to catch up on this. I'm sorry. I've been binge watching Shameless. I've been ignoring everything around
buddy.
it.
You have a podcast.
I've been, but we're not even talking about Mae Young Classics like that.
Well, we're talking about it right now.
I know because she got signed to Women of Honor division.
Okay, go ahead, continue.
But I just feel like WWE is like losing on a lot of people.
Yeah.
This is not the first time. Same thing with Cruiserweight Classics.
Yeah.
Same thing with now, Mae Young Classics. You're losing people because you don't want to sign them. I don't know why. You could have started a whole new division at this point.
You know who they're not losing out on, though?
Cool.
Mr. 619 himself, Rey Mysterio.
Finally signed.
So who has him on their team? I think it's
Who else?
Phil, right?
Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did the mystery pick.
Who else? Kevin? No.
I thought it was Kevin.
No. Phil actually has him as his wild card pick. So
yeah, that was a great pick now.
Sooner, hopefully, because the man's been collecting -2 points every week for him. So, but yeah, are you excited to see Ray back?
As long as they don't put him in the 205 division.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Don't play my man's.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio is a legend in our community, so he definitely needs to be on the main roster. I can see him on SmackDown.
Yeah, he signed a 2-year deal.
Yeah,
with a notice to them at the 18 bar, like I am not signing no more, or I will resign.
But so I'm excited to see him. Like I said, I can see him on the SmackDown roster.
I know something that you're not excited about.
What?
This tag team match at the Crown Jewel event. HBK and Triple H versus the Brother of Destructions, Undertaker and Kane. It is rumored to be happening, and this is why they're at each other's corner.
See, this is you were all in favor of seeing HBK
I didn't ask for all of this.
And take you opened it a little bit. Now the floodgates, and you let it in.
No, but I said if it was WrestleMania,
open up the floodgates. That's how the saying goes.
Yeah, if I said it was WrestleMania, fine. But this
And with that said, even if you want one last final match, now this doesn't even give you that excitement because we're already seeing them before WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I wish you would listen to me sometimes.
But I said if they just went straight to WrestleMania after this whole thing happened with Triple H, if they went straight to WrestleMania, cool. I didn't say make no stop in Saudi Arabia Part 2.
Shut up.
For Crown Jewel event.
Impact Wrestling. What are they doing?
They land a new UK title. Say UK title.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Impact Wrestling lands a new UK and Ireland TV deal. And it airs the same time it airs over here, so it's like 11 p.m.
No, it's not that bad if you're a night owl. Speaking of Impact Wrestling, apparently WWE and their executives had a little meeting, so I wonder what that's about.
Probably to try to get some more of AJ stuff and Samoa Joe stuff onto the network. Okay. And Kurt. Because they have a lot of stuff of the best parts of Kurt.
Matt Hardy,
Jeff.
So they have a lot of things. You as much as we don't care for Impact Wrestling, you forget they had some heavy hitters.
They did.
Rude, back in the day. So
maybe they're trying to figure out a deal where let me get some of these streams and we toss out some dollars and whatever case may be. Or maybe they'll be trying to partner up so it could go against Ring of Honor in New Japan.
That's a terrible idea. But what's our debate topic for the night?
The debate topic for tonight.
Yes.
Do you think that the PG era is hurting the product?
Yes and no.
How so?
Attitude Era Jenna would have been like, yeah, screw this. We need TV 14. However, the PG rating has helped WWE become more mainstream. So it's a gift and a curse. I feel like the product lacks just because it's not that edgy.
Right.
But again, if it was too edgy, I get from a corporate standpoint, how do we promote this and market this to people like Disney or Disney, because ESPN is owned by Disney, right?
Everybody's owned by Disney now.
So
are we owned by Disney?
I don't think. No.
We might be owned by Disney.
I don't know.
I need some Disney checks though.
Don't say these things out loud. Anyway, but yeah, so I get it. I get from a business standpoint, maybe you have to be PG just so you can get the sponsors.
Right.
But it is definitely hurting in the sense of what they're putting out as a product.
I agree to an extent. I
always agreeing with me.
Nah, I'll let you go first. That's why. If I'd have said it first, you would have been agreeing with me. Boom. Anyway, the reason I say that is because, like we said, with the Hell in a Cell, because we're in the PG era, we can't get no real Hell in a Cell matches.
Exactly. Or Extreme Rules or anything like that.
Right. We're getting, make believe stuff happening. Yeah. Where they have to time their jumps off the middle of the cage so nobody don't get blood on them.
Exactly.
And it's just hurt.
Even though that spot, remember when a few weeks ago when all the heel superstars on Raw threw Seth and Dean into the ambulance.
Right. And then if he got a real cut.
That was dope.
Yeah, like it added to it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just adds to it.
Yeah.
And it's needed.
Yeah.
Especially in the Hell in a Cell. How you come out of Hell in a Cell chill?
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
How does that work?
Yeah.
I remember when Shawn Michaels had blood running down his face.
I mean, a lot of times, I don't know if they did the whole blading thing, but regardless, sometimes it just shows a sense of like, yeah, this is happening. This is happening. this is a real feud. But you said to a certain extent, so I feel like, do you kind of agree about the BG thing?
I kind of agree in terms of like the money, like, packaging and being mainstream in that sense.
Yeah. But
I don't think it would hurt that much if you just let it loose a little bit. USA Network and
showing that the purge, that's
right.
Yeah.
And people using the A word and B words and CDFs and like
But on that note, but for that point that you just made, right? Then that means how many sponsors are those people getting? Those shows and stuff are getting. Whereas WWE, they partner with a lot of companies.
People are still buying commercial buys through their commercials. I don't think that would scare anybody really if they did a little more extreme.
I agree. I do agree.
If that's the case, change the name of these pay-per-views. Extreme Rules. We're not being extreme. So
not even Extreme Rules. Cut it out.
Right.
Yeah.
They just created a whole new name. You got a whole back room full of names that you could pick from and change the name of a pay-per-view.
Great Balls of Fire.
Right.
You notice how that didn't appear this year?
What happened to it? That was like, that pay-per-view was kind of dope last year.
Yeah, that was the one where Sasha and Alexa had their match.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a dope match. Great Balls of Fire. It was kind of weird when we first saw it. It was like, what the heck is this?
Great Balls of Fire. And then low-key, the symbol for it. Anyway.
Right.
Anyway, but
PG era, you know what made me say that? When we posted up the WCW thing yesterday with the whole Rick Rude showing up on Raw and Monday Night Nitro. It's how you looked at the crowd, and everybody was on their feet the entire show, holding up signs, saying how they felt.
Yeah.
Now you're censoring people,
who they want to cheer for,
right?
Or what have you. And that's not anybody's fault. It comes down. It's you when you decide to push someone down our throat and not let it happen organically.
Yeah, like you watch NWO came out, got goosebumps. Like
yeah.
Seeing DX in the ring going with Sergeant Slaughter and the crowd is like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Even the things I was showing you with Triple H, with him playing to the crowd.
Yeah, and then it goes back to what with like HBK and Taker and Triple H. Triple H, I still get excited to see for, but it's just like, again, the newer generation isn't going to mark out like we mark out because we grew up with them. But like you said, going back to that clip that we posted with Sergeant Slaughter, we were aware about it and marked out because not only were they aware about it, but it's not like we got it every week. So it was like a special feel. Like all this has ran its course. So
the bad part about all of this is that those guys still give better promos than these guys today.
They do. They do. But again, today's generation doesn't appreciate that. Because you see, again, I'm not going to even lie to you. I fast forward through Taker's promo.
I did too.
I was just like, bro, it's this.
I heard the first time. I heard Triple H response.
They were good promos, but it was said already. To this point, I'm not even invested. But there was a time where, again, remember when we posted that clip with Triple H and Taker, and this was only a couple of years ago when they had that stare down, and then you just heard cheers.
Right.
Now you're not really even hearing cheers unless you.
They didn't have a stand down there. They haven't been on the show together.
But not even that. They'll probably will, But I mean, even still, like when Triple H came out, when he came out in Brooklyn,
right.
Brooklyn is, you know, New York or whatever, you're going to get a reaction. But the other cities, it's just like radio silent.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know. I would love to see them go back to TV 14. What is New Japan and Ring of Honor? Do they have ratings?
Nope.
No?
No. Ring of Honor is 14. They curse. New Japan too, they curse.
Well, I noticed, and I remember reading this not too long ago. WWE is going back to cursing.
And then you're gonna go back to middle fingers?
That I don't know, but I did read that they're allowing cursing, and obviously when you heard Becky
right
explain,
but that word has always been. They let the women say that. They don't let the guys say that until Roman.
Oh, okay.
Until Roman.
Right. So.
Like that's why when Roman first said it, everybody was like, whoa, like,
yeah.
How did that slip?
Yeah.
And Cena.
Well, not even, and then The Rock, too. The Rock's been able to say
Rock is allowed to do whatever he wants when he comes on Raw. So I guess it's a specialty thing.
Yeah.
You got to be in that bubble.
Yeah, I don't know. I like to see it go back to TV 14, to be honest with you.
I miss it.
I do, too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, whatever.
It's good to reminisce sometimes.
Sometimes. We did that last week, and they probably be like, these old...
Back in the day.
Mother lovers. Anyway.
That's our show. Okay. Bang, bang.
Bang, bang.
There's no real meaning behind us. We just been doing it randomly. I don't know why.
You started it.
I forgot what show I got it from.
That's our show. Thank you for listening and watching.
Make sure you follow our Twitter and Instagram at The Mixed Tag Show.
Social media and our Facebook, too. It's a little dry. We got to work on that.
No, we talk. I talk to people on
Facebook.
Well, I'll be on it. We be talking, having discussions.
Hollywood.
Yeah, you are. You can follow us on our personals at... That she gets her glasses and...
At Miss Jenna Baby, BAYBEE.
God help me. Or you can follow me at Blue Magic Grind. Spelled how it sounds. Make sure you click on those links because we need those coins. So if you want to shop at the WWE shop, in our bios, in the descriptions, and on YouTube, hit us up. Anything else you want to discuss? Anything you want to give to tell the people?
No, I'm done. I'm tired. It's been a long week.
All right, let's head into the weekend.
All right.
On that note, tape was long. I can't. However we do it. Yeah, bang bang.
It's the Mixed Tag Show. Mixed Tag Show. With Jenna and Blue.